Throughout the course of the toxic 2016 election, Liberals and many media commentators were comparing now President Donald Trump to Adolf Hitler. Now this could be tossed up to Godwin's law, a political theory that asserts that any discussion online, no matter the subject, will eventually culminate in someone comparing something or somebody to Hitler. Considering that many people do legitimately believe that Trump is the next Hitler, I thought I would start a series comparing the two and what they have done month by month. Though I stress I am not a Trump supporter or a Clinton supporter, this video will only look at a fact-by-fact comparison of the two. Let's begin with Adolf Hitler. Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany on the 30th of January 1933. Within a few days, by the 2nd of February, Hitler met with Reichstag generals, discussing his plans and promises to rearm and militarize Germany, which would be a direct violation of the Treaty of Versailles, which was a treaty that Germany was forced to sign at the end of World War I, which disarmed Germany's military, as well as causing them to pay reparations for the war which they were blamed for causing. By the 17th of February, the Prussian Interior Minister had permitted the shooting of perceived enemies of the state under the direction of infamous Nazi Hermann Göring. Perhaps the most notable event in Hitler's first month was the Reichstag fire, a result of arson that devastated the Reichstag building. Who caused the Reichstag fire remains a bit of a mystery, with many arguing that it was in fact the Nazis who caused the fire. Officially, it was blamed on communist Martin van der Lubbe, who was found at the rear of the building with firelighters, flammable materials, and he had a criminal record of arson. He confessed to German police, saying he was trying to incite a German workers' rise-up against the Nazis, though there are often holes in the story, and it's believed that if the communists did do it, that he almost certainly didn't work alone. Either way, the Nazis capitalized on the fire, and the following day, on the 28th of February, Hitler was granted emergency powers with the Reichstag decree. This truly began Germany's move to totalitarianism. These emergency powers under a presidential decree suspended civil liberties with Articles 114, 115, 117, 118, 123, 124, and 153 of the German Weimar Republic Constitution suspended. As a result, restrictions were placed on these rights, such as rights to personal freedoms, freedoms of opinion, freedoms to organize and assemble, the privacy of postal, telegraphic and telephonic communications, warrants for house searches, orders for confiscations, as well as there was restrictions of property. These emergency powers were worded broadly, and thus gave the Nazis power to define their own legal limits. As a result, Hitler was able to marginalize any political opponents by placing restrictions on the press, banning political meetings and marches, and intercepting communications, with habeas corpus suspended, allowing for suspected terrorists and revolutionaries to be detained by the German police or the SS without any charge. That was Hitler's 1 month into power. And by the end of the first month, Germany was well on the way to becoming Nazi Germany. They were already there on the march towards totalitarianism, which would define Germany for the next 12 years. So how does Trump compare in his first month? Donald Trump was sworn in as president just over a month ago, with some of the lowest approval ratings of any incoming president, having set records for the fastest to reach majority disapproval. One of Trump's first actions on his very first day of office was an executive order in regards to the Affordable Care Act, better known as Obamacare, to minimize unwarranted economic and regulatory burdens, as well as freezing all new regulations. Instead, Trump has proposed an alternative insurance for everybody, with the objective to be something cheaper and more robust than the current Affordable Care Act. On the 23rd of January, Trump withdrew America from the highly flawed and controversial Trans-Pacific Partnership. This is a good thing, as the TPP was an agreement lobbied by major corporations such as the big banking, software, pharmaceutical, and tobacco industries, which could put food safety standards, environmental protection, internet privacy, and local labor laws all at risk, which could have led to an increase in price for medicine, among other things, and jail time for those who pirated, as well as giving corporations the power to sue governments over laws which may affect their business, allowing them to sue over any potential law change, putting all nations' sovereignty at risk. The TPP would have also been withdrawn had Bernie Sanders been elected. This is not a left or right-wing issue, this is an issue about sovereignty. The same day that Trump withdrew the US from the TPP, he also reinstated the Mexico City policy, which is a policy that blocks US funding from non-governmental organizations providing abortion counseling or advocating the expansion of abortion services. The policy has a history of being receded and expanded, with the Democrats often receding it and the Republicans often enacting it. Reagan introduced it, Clinton removed it, Bush enacted it, Obama rescinded it, and Trump enacted it. When in effect it has required foreign non-governmental organizations to certify that they won't promote abortion as a method of family planning. The following day, Trump issued a memorandum on the construction of the Keystone and Dakota pipelines, and by the 25th, Trump signed an executive order in regards to the construction of a border wall. While a border wall or fence already exists with the goals of minimizing illegal migration, Trump's plans to build a larger and more fortified wall, which is estimated to cost anywhere from $8 to $25 billion, with Trump's spokesman Sean Spicer stating that the president wants a 20% tax on Mexican imports. Most controversially, Trump issued a temporary travel ban, suspending admission of refugees in general for 120 days and denying entry to citizens from Iraq, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, and Yemen for 90 days. Though interestingly, neither Saudi Arabia or Pakistan were included in this temporary ban, although many of the 9/11 hijackers were Saudi and that bin Laden himself was found in Pakistan. Both countries happen to have business ties with Trump. This ban is similar to Obama's ban on immigration from Iraq for 6 months in 2011, though since Trump's temporary ban, many judges overturned elements of this ban. Trump would nominate Neil Gorsuch to fill a Supreme Court vacancy, and on the 3rd of February he would go on to sign an order hoping to loosen financial regulations imposed by the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act. And on the 13th of February, National Security Advisor Michael Flynn resigned from his position due to allegations that he had illegal contact with the Russian ambassador. Trump's stint has also been noted by allegations of fake news, with Trump having stated that the New York Times, NBC, ABC, CBS, and CNN as enemies of the American people. While many of these news organizations have strong leftist bias, especially CNN, this has been in regard to allegations made about Russia hacking the US election. And while WikiLeaks have stated that they have not seen any evidence of a Russian interference with intelligence communities, while intelligence communities continue to investigate these claims. So is Trump the next Hitler? Well, while Trump's first month has been riddled with controversy, but Trump hasn't prevented the rights of personal freedoms. Freedom of opinion is very much alive in America, as can be seen with the numerous vocal opponents. People can still march and protest, as has been clearly seen. Freedom of press still exists. Freedom to organize and assemble is still in America. US still require a warrant for house searches. Habeas corpus is still active in the US. It has only been suspended twice in the entire history of the US, and this was by Lincoln during the Civil War and by Ulysses S. Grant during Reconstruction. America's political climate is currently a mess, full of controversial controversy, with both the left and right muddled in what they stand for. But America is still a democracy, and while you may or may not like Trump, America isn't on the path to totalitarianism. By this point in Germany, only a month into Hitler's reign, Germany was well on that road. Thanks for watching everyone, and subscribe for more. And if you agree or disagree with what I have said in this video, don't fret to comment. But a reminder to keep it civil. Remember this from Socrates: when the debate is lost, slander becomes the tool of the loser.